Hi, it's me, Daphne, and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I am giving you a very overdue ebook haul, and then I'm gonna do a separate one that is all of the physical books. I've acquired 110 books. That's ebooks and physical books combined, and 50 of those books are ebooks. I've only spent a total of $116.94 on all of those books combined. Out of that, nearly $117, $40.93 were spent on just ebooks. Some of my stats were wrong. I was adding a book and I realized the total spend range was not accurate. The $40.93 is accurate for the ebooks, but the total spend including the book I just added today is actually $373.57. Whoopsie. But to be fair, for the amount of books there are, that's not that bad. Like if we do the math, let's just round up 374 divided by 111 equals, that's $3.37 per book. That's pretty freaking good, okay? So I'm not mad. Back to regularly scheduled programming. Another stat that I thought was slightly interesting is how many books I acquired in each month so far. So in January, I downloaded 4 books, February 8, March 16, and then April, I only downloaded 3, May, I downloaded 6, June, I downloaded 7, July, I only downloaded a single book. August, so far to date, I've downloaded 5. I probably won't download any more this month, but maybe, who knows? I will let you know if I've spent any money on a book. Also, none of these books are KU books. I purchased them for free, so they are mine, whether that was from Amazon First Reads or if Amazon was having like deals where the book was free for a day, da-da-da-da-da. I'd recommend this Instagram account called A Dog and a Book. She is always posting the free books that Amazon has on specific days, and she puts all the links and stuff. An amazing account if you want books for free. So the first book I picked up was The Real Deal. I think I got this on an Amazon First Reads Day thing. I don't think it's a romance. It looks like just like a Hollywood drama kind of vibe. Then I purchased, for a few bucks, Red Rising because Sam wanted to buddy read it. She was supposed to be doing a readathon. I haven't heard that much about it. I've been like in the middle of it for a little while, but yeah, I bought it because my friends. And then I picked up The Prisoner because it had a beautiful Asian woman on the cover. I don't think this author is a POC author necessarily, but I was intrigued. It's a dark mafia romance, and it's a part of a trilogy. Then I downloaded Starfound for free. This is an epic paranormal romantic fantasy novel. It looks like it's a part of a series. It's 400 plus pages. Thought the image was cool. Then I downloaded Midnight with the Devil. This looks like a dark romance with a woman who was desperate to save her father's life, so she made a deal with a man who apparently would do anything to possess her. This is less than 250 pages, so a nice, fun, easy read potentially down the line. Also, I'll let you know if I read any of them because I haven't read most of these yet. Next, we have Sincerely the Puck Bunny. This is a surprise pregnancy hockey romance. That's all I needed to know. It's a long one. It's over 400 pages for some reason. I don't know why. I have Candidly Yours. This looks like a black love romance. It's short, less than 200 pages. Seems like our hero has a bit of a commitment phobia issue, and our heroine is looking for her forever person. I have The Darling. This is a MFM hockey romance. Bad Boys of the NHL, book 1. Very short, about 100 pages, just for a quick, easy, fun time. I also picked up Tempt Him. This is a part of the Man Trap series. It's short, it's 200 pages. Our heroine has been in love with the hero for a long time, but he doesn't see her as a romantic prospect. She is determined to change his mind. She's very girl next door, so it sounds kind of creepy, but you know, when things are gender swapped, it's whatever. It's acceptable now. I picked up Deliver from Pam Godwin. When I see Pam Godwin's name, I'm intrigued. I read Sea of Ruin by her, and that was like pretty solid. I really liked the last third of that book, but she's like a well-known author, and when her books are put for free, I'm like, why wouldn't I pick it up? She is a dark romance author for sure. The main line that I see is that the heroine lures young men and delivers them to be sold. I don't know what's going on, but I'm sure it's gonna be very dark and interesting. So I'm intrigued, but also wary. I was able to acquire A False Start by Elsie Silvers for free. I have read this. This one was a best friend's little sister romance. Country, small town, cowboys, Canadian vibes. I downloaded Hypnotized by Love. Apparently it's romantic comedy vibes. Our heroine is a hypnotist and she helps people with their issues from anxiety to addiction. And the hero is an author. And apparently he's writing a scathing expose of his hometown hypnotist, which is our heroine. So he's like talking trash about her. I don't think I knew that at all. This next one I'm really excited about. I want to pick this up sooner than later, hopefully in 2024 at a minimum. This is Passion and Venom by Shanora Williams. She is a POC author, and this is a dark romance. Very excited. The first line is, imagine this, your husband is murdered on your wedding day. The man behind your husband's murder is revealed. His name is Draco. And I think Draco is the love interest. It's very dark, apparently. It's a trilogy, and it's actually really short. I didn't realize how short it was. It's less than 200 pages. Next, I have Feel My Love. This is a single dad small town romance, 300 pages. It looks like there's a wedding. It says, don't sleep with the best man. She probably does. The next book I downloaded was My Legacy. This is an enemies to lovers mafia romance, average length at about 300 and so pages. I have The Rivers Between Us, which is a small town western romance. A woman finds safety in the one man she hurt the most. Intriguing. Now we get to another book that I actually read, which was An Improper Proposition. This is a novella. It was 65 pages, and it's a historical where this widowed countess is very attracted to her footman, and she wants a night with him, and it's their little romance together. And it was fun, a fun little cute little time. And then surprisingly, I downloaded another book that was like the same energy, at least in the title. It's called The Footman and I. So apparently one night when him and his friends were drunk, they came up with an idea that he would pose as a footman and work during his buddy's house party to meet these beautiful eligible debutantes without them knowing he's a rich earl, so he can truly know what they're like. OMG, I'm so excited about that now. Next, I have a book called Hot Mess. This is less than 300 pages. Apparently, our heroine is a single mother of 2 daughters. She's not looking for love, but apparently the perfect man just happens to work at her office, and he's her boss. Then I downloaded a book called A Friendly Wager. It's a secret baby fake engagement romance. It's the second book in a series. Hopefully that doesn't confuse me. It's a little over 300 pages. Our hero is a hockey player. He's obsessed with his wifey material next door neighbor, and he wants her. Apparently they have a past where they had a one-night stand and he took her B card, as it's described. A friendly wager put her in my debt. She owes me this favor, and I owe her the truth. I will never fall for her. What? I had it all planned out perfectly until I discover a 10-year-old secret that had never been in my plans. A little confused. He wants her but doesn't want her, doesn't want to commit to her. Maybe he's like, I can't, my heart broken, like macho man vibes. Less intrigued by that attitude from the man. Then I downloaded this book called The Irish Savior. This is a dark Irish mafia romance, book 1 in a series, a little under 300 pages long. The tagline is, she's beautiful, broken, and she needs me to save her. And he knows she's not like the perfect fit for a wife for his role in the mafia, I guess. But like, he needs her, he needs to save her, and he must have her. This next one is so silly. I downloaded it because it was so ridiculous. It's called 50 Shades of Orc, a fated mate's monster romance, 130 pages. He's rich, gorgeous, and drives her completely wild. It's just so funny. That's it. I don't even know anything else. So this next one is actually way messier than it looks. It's called One More Day. She's always been like the good twin. She's awaiting her Prince Charming. However, there is a tiny case of a mistaken identity, and she decides for the first time to do the wrong thing. I'm giving a lot of air quotes. Mr. Wrong turns out to be a grumpy single dad of 2 energetic boys, and she kind of takes over her sister's life. She gets wrapped up in a small town that feels like home and feeling more like she's living than hiding in plain sight. She falls in love with the kids, she falls in love with the father. How is she gonna explain herself when she says she's not who she's been pretending to be? Drama, whoa, messy, why did you do that? Curious. We have another like 300 so page book. This is called Highland Fling, a witty, heartwarming, escapist, romantic comedy set in the Scottish Highlands. A boy, a girl, a dating guru. What could possibly go wrong? I don't know. Things probably. Next, I have Wrecked / If I Break. This is also by a POC author, so love that for me. It's close to 400 pages long, so it sounds like our heroine is in college. She comes across this really sexy man. They end up getting married, like that's like in the description, but it says he has a secret, one that makes loving him come with a price, and being his wife costs more than she bargained for. The author's note says, for the best reading experience possible, I recommend avoiding spoilers and going in blind. So like, I've literally no idea what's gonna happen. The setup of it is not that interesting because it's just like, oh yeah, just like a girl just trying to like live her life and she marries this guy. And it's like, but what secrets does he have? And the author has to say, don't spoil it for yourself. Just go in blind. Like that part intrigues me, but the rest is kind of like whatever. Next, I have Manhunt. This is the first book in a series of 7 books, apparently. The tagline says, what's worse than spilling coffee all over my billionaire boss? Accidentally emailing him my answers to a sex quiz. That's hilarious. I was able to download another Pam Godwin book, our dark romance author. This one is called Knotted. Oh my God. It says, we were 16 the night she was violently assaulted while I helplessly watched. Holy shoot. Pam goes so dark. Years later, she returns to honor our teenage pact. Except the boy she loved is gone, replaced by a ruthless cattle rancher knotted with secrets. She doesn't know my dark cravings or the trails of sin that led to her. I don't deserve her, but the truth remains, she's mine. Scared of that. Then I picked up Priest by Sierra Simone. This one, again, I got for free somehow. I've heard of this book a lot through the romance girlies. So intrigued. This is one of 3 books. It's the first one in a series. It's about 350 pages. And he's a priest. What is there else to talk about? I'm intrigued to find out what the hype is. Next, I have Payback. This is a fairly long one. It's closer to 400 pages. It's a dark romance. And the description says, Jared, a victim of Alison Brown's torment during his high school years, has returned as a transformed man, dark, affluent, and exuding an aura of menace. The cover gives like BDSM vibes. Not super in my BDSM era anymore, so I probably won't read this anytime soon. Next, I have Pucked, another hockey romance. This is close to 400 pages, a standalone brothers teammate hockey romance. She becomes attracted to this hockey player because he starts talking books with her. So they have their one night stand and she thinks that will just be it. She's really not interested in that more, but he's persistent. He's calling her, texting her, giving her gifts, and he just seems really sweet and kind. So I guess that's cute for her. The next book I have to talk about is Bend Her. I actually read this one. This is a dark Beauty and the Beast retelling. This is the first book in a trilogy, and I didn't realize it was the first book in a trilogy when I picked it up. I thought it was a standalone. So I was kind of agitated by the way this book went. It was nearly 400 pages, but there's like no conclusive storytelling at all. You definitely have to continue on in the series. It's with the same couple and all that stuff. We're in a fantasy world where there are like mages and stuff, and the Beast, he's like a mage. Also for Bend Her, I purchased that. I spent money on that. I spent like $3. I have a book that I didn't log on my tracker, but I'm seeing it on my content library in Amazon. I have Love Cursed, God's Cursed Book 1. It's a fated mates urban fantasy romance. So instead of 50 books, I have 51. Let me add this to the bottom of my list. It's actually kind of annoying that I missed this one somehow. I'm a little confuzzled. This book is less than 200 pages. It says, A Love Across Time, Cursed to Stay Apart. With a librarian and a sexy Cupid. Then I picked up 4 of Kennedy Ryan's books. This was back during the Prime Day deals, so I got them at like 50% off, if not more. I got When You Are Mine, Loving You Always, Be Mine Forever, and Until I'm Yours. It's an entire series. I downloaded all 4 books for $27. That's not bad. The first one, we have Karis, who is our heroine. She's engaged to a man named Cam, but she doesn't have a passionate connection with him. She thinks sparks are overrated until she meets this man, Walsh, who lights her up like the 4th of July. So controversial. Stolen woman potentially cheating in this story. Obviously cheating is not okay in real life, but in books, you know, it adds the drama, which can be entertaining. So that's the start of this series. I'm intrigued to read more Kennedy Ryan because I've really enjoyed her books in the past. Next, I picked up this book called The Donor, a Colorado Coyotes hockey romance. So this book is less than 300 pages. It's about a pro hockey player and a woman who apparently wants to be a mother, and I think she wants him to give her his little swimmers to help make that happen. Then I downloaded The Honey Witch. I bought this for a book club with some friends. I think I paid probably nearly full price. I might have gotten a little bit of a discount because of the digital credits I receive from Amazon when I let them ship stuff later. They give you a little kickback with maybe $2 or so on digital credits, which I love to collect and then spend on books. So I spent $750 for this book. This is a debut witchy romance. It was all right. I ended up giving it 4 stars initially, but it's probably more like a 3.5. We have a young woman who is learning about her magic through her grandmother, and there's this curse on the family that they will never be loved. And it's a bit of a sapphic romance. So it was all right. Not my favorite thing in the world, but it was fun to read it with some friends. I've also downloaded a book called Not a Peep. This is a longer one. It's over 400 pages. It's a forbidden, bully, dark college romance, and apparently it's the first book of a duet. It's MMFM, written in first person, mild cliffhanger. So I might have to pick up the second one, though it looks like it's also on Kindle Unlimited if you're interested. We have a librarian, heroine. Unfortunately for her, 2 students that attend the college that she works at have a taste for forbidden fruit and harbor a dark obsession with this sweet librarian. Then they have a friend, a third man. It says, play their game or they'll expose what they've uncovered about her to the world. A bit of a dark romance, a bit of mystery. Not really sure what this librarian could have done, but maybe I'll find out. Then I downloaded this silly book called Get Thee Off My Lawn. This is a Regency rom-com with a swan problem, like the bird, as you can see in the cover. This is less than 200 pages. I think I saw this on April's channel. She mentioned it. So apparently in this book there are 2 swans that are mated together. The one swan's name is Daphne, and they spell it the same way I do, and I just thought that was so funny. So April already said she liked this book, and there's a swan with my name, so I downloaded it because why not? It's also on KU. Okay, and then the next book I'm actually pretty excited about because this is another one I heard a lot of talk. I think I first saw this from Ava's channel. This is less than 300 pages. It's called Not My Type. We have a wheelchair user heroine. It says he doesn't do relationships, she doesn't do flings. Everything they thought is about to unravel. It says she's a sexologist. There's a podcast maybe. It sounds sweet and cute and I hear good things about it. So I'm glad I was able to snag this somehow for $0. So lucky me. So next I have Cruel Devil, a brother's best friend romance. It looks like it's a football sports romance. It's the 3rd book in a series out of 4. I have not read the other 2. Hopefully it's not that confusing. Angsty enemies to lovers between Jock and his best friend's little sister. And it looks like there is a black man on the cover. I don't know what's the deal with the author. She might be a POC, but can't be certain. She's definitely not black, but that's fine. Then I have a book called Shattered Vows, a small town romantic suspense novel. This is the first book in a series. It's 300 so pages. She's a survivor fighting to build a new life. He's a small town sheriff who vowed to protect her. Next, I have a book called Schooled. It is less than 300 pages. It says, my best friend's brother grew up hot. What else do you need to know? Maybe there's sexy time lessons or something. I don't know if I was gonna guess. I also downloaded Teach Me the Ropes. This is a little over 200 pages. It's a small town cowboy romance. There's apparently a bachelor auction. He's the fire chief, and apparently it's hot. Then I downloaded Nine Tales. This is 300 so pages. Not super sure if this is a romance or not. It says, an enemy on her tails, an innocent at her sides, and a dangerous power within her that could destroy them all. Definitely fantasy vibes. It melts Korean folklore with modern Americana in this fiery new series. I think there's a little bit of a romance, but I think it's definitely fantasy first. Also downloaded another fantasy-esque book. I think this is a fantasy. Yeah, called Behind the Crimson Curtain. This is over 400 pages. It says a magical con artist and an actor turned revolutionary fight for freedom in an atmospheric fantasy debut where layered secrets and daring love clash on a stage of war. I've also downloaded Tattered Loyalties. This looks like a werewolf book. It says, with one look, he knows she's his fated mate. One problem, she's the daughter of his rival Alpha. I do love werewolf. I do love fated mates, so no wonder I downloaded this. Ooh, sounds angsty and fun, and hopefully it's a steamy good time. Next, I have Kingdom's Reign, a bad boy biker romance. It says, a grieving biker, a jaded attorney. Can they heal each other's wounds? Hit top 6 Amazon bestsellers, apparently, at least at some point in time. And then I managed to download another Pam Godwin book. This one is called One is a Promise, book 1 in the Tangled Lies series out of 3 books. So this is basically just a woman being caught in between 2 men. She had a man she was in love with in her past. Something happened. She didn't see him for like 2 years. She meets another man. She's in love with him. And then the original man comes back and now she's got 2 men on her hands and she's like, what am I supposed to do? That sounds messy, but it'll probably work out in your favor. And then the last book I have for today's book haul, I recently purchased for free with Amazon digital credits. It's Bully by Penelope Douglas. This is her first book in the Followaways series. A lot of Pendy's books are on KU, but this series isn't for some reason. So I'm intrigued. I want to read more of Pendy's books. Obviously, it's a bully romance, and I don't really know that much else besides that, but I would love to dive in. And now we're all caught up on ebooks. I will have the physical book haul coming out hopefully soon as well. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please feel free to give it a thumbs up and subscribe down below if you haven't already. I would greatly appreciate it, and obviously it helps out my channel. And I will catch you in another video. Bye!